Hombre, Martín Campos, el primero en unirse. Thanks for coming. Oh, somebody commented on my photo. Huh. All right. You should join, man. Join the live session. Don't comment on the photo. Okay. So we're gonna, just to recap, we have this rough animation. Oh, let's delete the advertisement at the end. Okay. So the idea is to make this and make it all clean with the color and everything. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge. I already separated all the parts. If you guys are listening, yes. So I already separated the different parts that I'm gonna be able to animate. Let me just show you. So here we have the rough animation. Here we have the right arm. Here we have the left arm. Just gonna name it. The head and the torso. And I think I'm gonna start with the torso, since that I think that's gonna lead everything else. So it's gonna be probably better to start with that. So first of all, I wanna start building this pose. I think it's gonna be a good idea to start with this one. I'm gonna lower the transparency a little bit too. Just gonna make it easier to to see. I always want to see the rough sketch. So okay, so duplicate frame. Can start kind of making this pose here. Hopefully it's not too challenging. I think that the challenge here is going to be to make it thicker. Just optimize it a little bit. You start to see some dirtiness in there. Maybe it's a good idea to recreate this. Just gonna. The reason I'm doing that is I don't want the geometry to break too much. If I can keep it clean, I'll be much happier. Okay, so now we have a good pose in there. Let's see if we got more people. 5 people. Yeah. Wonderful. Let's see if we get more. The more, the merrier. So I'm not going to be talking all the time, but please, if you guys have questions about what I'm just doing right now, please write it down. I'll put your social distancing. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I could get a scotch right now. Uh, I have a can of La Croix. I don't know if that's equivalent. I don't think so. Okay. Like I mentioned in the previous live stream, I'm not gonna worry about the legs at all. I'm just gonna make this character without legs. Maybe in the future we can add the legs later, but for now it's okay. Okay, so let's keep doing these in-betweens. I think it's gonna be start building this thing. And I'm basing all my new clean geometry. It's all inspired by the rough, right? The rough sketch. But if I can get clean geometry, it's always better. So let's see. This one is pretty clean. So I'm gonna keep using this one as a base for building the other in-betweens. So let's say I grab this geometry. I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, and just gonna okay. Same thing. Just gonna grab this one, which is clean. Make sure there's a progression. Actually, the rough, I'm gonna even make it more transparent. Okay, there's not much of a progression here. So maybe this needs to be a little. What am I doing? Oh, I was in the wrong layer. Okay. Okay, that feels better. Just want to make sure there's always a progression between the drawings, right? So here, just make sure that they continue to transform in a nice way. It's kind of the same as stop motion, I would say. I don't know. I never done a stop motion myself, but I think it's kind of a similar process. Okay, just gonna duplicate this one, paste it here. Let's see if it works as an in-between. All right. And the first couple of in-betweens are gonna be easier. It's gonna be very subtle. Turn on the onion skin. Really subtle. And really subtle. Just kind of slowly beginning the movement. Okay. I'm gonna get the belly to squash a bit more. Okay, I'm not too happy with the color. Let's see if I can. That feels better. Five people. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have more later. I feel like the geo is breaking a little too much here. I don't have a clean. Oh, yes, it's cleaner. Just gonna paste it. For some reason, this kind of broke. I wish I could make it more clean. Okay. Well, especially the frames that they hold. I try to get them as clean as possible. If the in-betweens are not too clean, it's fine. Okay, let's do based on the clean version. We have easy in between there. And this one is going to start to deform a lot. That's okay. And here I feel like we're going to do a completely new, especially the bottom part. The top, I think it could be, we can still reuse it. Let's see. This one. Okay. I didn't set a keyframe. Okay. So we have this brand new geometry here. Okay, and I'm gonna use this again just to have that line on the bottom. Four people. I can hear you clicking from my window. I'm not clicking any buttons. Mitya, you probably heard me play the drums, the cajon. I was playing a little bit today. Okay, let me make sure. Just gonna add some more detail to this because we're gonna reuse it quite a lot. And this is gonna probably start changing into a different color, but I haven't thought about the colors yet, so let's not worry about this for now. Okay. think this is gonna be duplicate. Okay, so now we need to transform into this one and then settle to that one. Okay, I think I need to create the last pose first. It's gonna be much easier. And when I'm building the last pose, I'm gonna really like make sure I have all the details and everything. Just gonna remove that for now. So we want this to be a little more round. Let's do a little bit of that way I'll have more control over the shapes. Make sure that works well from all the angles. Oh, 7 people now. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Checking some live animation just for fun. Okay, so now I think this is gonna be okay. Let's make this a little nicer. Let's make it a little nicer. I think since we're here, it's gonna be important that this it's gonna be important that this geometry is It's clean, so we can reuse it many times later. Actually, I think this one is better. Okay. Answers your question? Yeah, I did the lay thing for the body. Only as a measure of percussion, because I know I'm gonna be distorting this a lot, and there's gonna be a squash and stretch and everything. So I think if I give it enough geo, it's gonna be much better. Okay, that looks better. Shall I do this? Actually, his shirt will kind of open, right? I wonder if it's worth to do this detail. I don't know if I want to do all this detail. Just gonna keep it simple, I guess. Well, more or less. At this point, I should save and start building. How is it gonna be the head at the end? I think it's very important that I start creating this the final form in order to keep animating and making sure that I have the clean version of everything, right? Okay, let's create the head. Also, this will be good because it'll help me decide the color for the dinosaur. It's really exciting. I don't know what color. It's gonna make him, I guess, sort of. Let's see. And the green is gonna be good because it's gonna be a nice contrast with the background. Okay, how do we do this shape? Okay, the human head is gonna disappear, obviously. Let's see if we can probably. And try to keep it low poly as well, since I want this to be on the quest. So it's gonna be really efficient, hopefully efficient with the geometry. So I try to draw everything with the line tool. I mean, the straight line tool as much as possible, and then take it from there. Let's see if we can get away with only one stroke. You know, sometimes you can just get away with a lot of stuff with just one stroke. You know. It's gotta be really strategic about it, and obviously knowing the tools, knowing what each of those look like when you build those shapes. You see, um, the the preview wireframe also helps a lot to figure out. Okay, the bottom part. I wonder if I want some sort of gradient with this guy. Something like that. And the bottom, I think I'm gonna start it the same way I did the. I could have done a mirror, but I'm too lazy and just want to go really fast. So actually, I like characters that don't look completely symmetrical. So it's actually I like better for me to model without mirroring. So the bottom part is gonna be, maybe it could be more round. Just okay, and then the neck is gonna be huge. We need to have. Okay. See, this is really important to have everything figured out before you start animating. Okay, so torso. The torso is opening up like that a little bit. There you go. That looks cleaner. Hopefully I'll be able to animate it without breaking it too much. Just in case, I think I'm gonna do a nice duplicate of the clean version. Because that helps a lot when you're distorting too much or breaking too much the geometry. Sorry, my voice is really bad. Okay. So maybe we want some of this detail there, maybe. Okay, this is, I'm not too happy about this, but it's okay. It'll go so fast, you won't see it. Okay, let's keep focusing on cleaning this up, making it a final image. All right. Okay. I want to get those crazy eyes. Let's get some eyelids as well. Yeah. I want to make it look nice and round. Just to try to keep it low poly as well. Hopefully this will deform properly later, I hope. Yeah, more or less. It's a little bit of a problem there maybe. As long as I'm careful when I'm The teeth. Nice pointy. This is so much fun, you guys. I don't know if you understand. I guess you do. How much fun it is to do this. I mean, I'm not animating right now, but the thing is, I'm building the character that will animate eventually. So I created to my own. I want to make sure I make it to the way I like it. And it's fun to model, as much fun as, well, it's probably more fun to animate, I guess. I don't know. I kind of like both things. I don't want this to be too distracting. I think the simple line is better. Just one simple line. It's obviously it's not going to be exactly it's not going to be exactly like the rough drawing, because the rough drawing obviously it's not three-dimensional, and so this is supposed to be a better version of that rough drawing, right? We're supposed to improve along the way. So yeah, I tried to follow that rough, but not exactly perfectly, because it's impossible. The rough doesn't work in 3 dimensions. But the final model that I do, I try to make it work in 3 dimensions. So I want to make it a proper 3-dimensional model. And hopefully animatable, so I can do things like that. And squash and stretch and things like that without deforming too much. I mean, there's a little bit of a problem here, but I'll fix it as I animate. Let's do the eyes. I want crazy looking eyes. Just the black. And you notice that I do it really big at the beginning, and then I make it small, which sounds like a stupid way to do it, but there's a reason behind it. If you do the same thing small, you'll end up with very low resolution geometry. So this way you get a nice round shape. So there's a little trick for you guys. You can decide the density of your geo by the size of the initial shape that you do, right? So the same goes for a line. If you do a line like that, it's going to have low res. So if you make the same thing huge and then you reduce it, you have also a line. Obviously, it's shorter, but it's much more high definition. So it's good to know that. And talking about lines, I'm going to do the eyebrows, which are going to be simple. Make it a little higher res. Can even have a little some hair coming out. So it's not so perfect. Yeah. I think I like it better small eyebrows. Floating on top of the So the saying, this eyebrow, I could have done a mirror, right? But it's so complicated to do a mirror in Quill, so I just do it. I just duplicate it and manually mirror it. They really have to improve some stuff, but one of the things that I would love is to have a button. You select something, click, boom, automatically mirrors it and duplicates it, or just mirrors it. So maybe some sort of a toggle. That would be sweet. But for now, it's working okay like that. And the hair, let's do the hair, but that is the thing that I'm gonna animate the last. Three people only. People are going to sleep. That's okay. You can always come back and rewatch the whole thing. The whole video will be available right here in the same place. So if you want to see, I don't think I'm gonna finish cleaning up the whole thing, obviously. There's a lot to do still here, but okay. The hair is gonna be also black. I'm not gonna complicate. I'm not too happy with that. Well, I'll look at the hair later. Just want to make sure. Hmm. Mm. If I put details, I don't like it. I don't want to put too many details, but something here I think it needs. Thank you, Pedro. So the idea is being able to have detail and also being able to deform it later without breaking it too much. Should be okay. I think I'm gonna give him some spikes in the back, right? Should he? Like a flat spikes. I'm not sure if you. Let's see. Something like that, right? Or maybe more round. Later, I'll do a highlight later on the whole layer, which is gonna look strange, maybe with this low res, but I don't want to overdo it too much, especially on this other side, because we're only gonna see it from one side. Mostly we're gonna see it from one side. But it's good to have the other, make sure it works in all their angles. But the main point of view is gonna be this one. So I still gonna have something here. But I won't worry so much as this part. Okay. Still lots to do. But we got some really good in-betweens in there. I figure we can start creating some in-betweens there. And I'm just realizing that maybe we need to be more careful between this and this. It's gonna probably recreate those in-betweens. It's probably a good idea to start using the other geometry that has more resolution. From here, maybe. Okay, so for this one, and now it makes sense to keep using the same exact geometry. Hang on a second. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I want this to be the same and then change it slightly with a little bit of a squash. Yeah, perfect. Same thing. Okay. And then here it starts to settle down. And I'm gonna reuse because I I went straight ahead and I prefer to reuse the geometry that I've been using so far in the in-betweens, so that way it settles properly, hopefully. Okay. Okay. I feel like here we should already have this this version of the torso is much better. So let's keep using that one. I'm gonna start always from the clean version. I think it's better just to be safe. to use the guide of the rough as much as possible. Okay, there's a couple of places where it gets a little too crazy, but maybe it's not an issue because it's so fast. Okay, it will all make more sense once we put all the elements in there. For now, we have the torso. Animate it. Sorcery. It's not sorcery, man. It's just a lot of work. Let's see. Maybe this doesn't need to be as big as this. Maybe this feels better as a transformation. And now, after the settle, the torso is going to keep settling back up. So maybe it's a good idea to keep doing, or maybe I should wait until I have. Let's do it. So it's going to start going up a little bit, right? Very, very little. I want the squash stretch here to be really subtle at the end. Okay, let's see. Boink, boink. Yeah, I like it. There's a nice subtle at the end. Boink. Cool. And eventually he's gonna have a head like that. Which we need to start animating, transforming into the dinosaur head. Okay, but we've been an hour, maybe? Yeah, more than an hour. So what about we leave it like that for now? Save. And I'll continue next time. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, thank you. just leave the questions in the comments and I'll try to answer as good as possible. Okay. I'll see you later.